Oh, hi. Good to see you again. I'm back again actually with my second completed sketchbook. I know that these videos are both going to be uploaded pretty much back to back, so I just want to let you know I did actually finish both of these sketchbooks pretty much at the same time. I do tend to use more than one sketchbook at a time and actually have like 4 going at a time most of the time, just because they have different uses, different sizes, different capabilities for holding different kinds of media. But this one is actually the sketchbook that I've actually had that is probably my favorite type of sketchbook. I got this on Amazon. It's actually an Ohuhu brand sketchbook, and it's made for like alcohol markers, which is really nice because it's got really thick paper. It doesn't bleed through to the next page, and it actually comes with like a little silicone mat that you put in between the pages so that it won't bleed through. But it's great paper for using other mediums as well, which is why it's so good to have for a sketchbook. I actually got this in the big size. This one is 11.7 by 8.3, and it's got 78 sheets, 156 pages. So I really love the paper. The texture is really nice. It's 200 gram or 120 pound. That's the weight of the paper. So again, this one's by Ohuhu, and that's on Amazon is where I got it from. I'm pretty sure that's where they sell most of their supplies. So keep watching and you'll see as we go through this sketchbook what's inside. This is, I love Taylor Swift. Just some stickers on there. And here we go to the first page. So I usually put the date on the inside. I saved this page for last because I fear the first page, as we may have talked about in the past. But so yeah, I didn't even like draw anything on this page. I saved it for last because I was gonna do something special, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just done. I don't care about the first page anymore. I'm just gonna do whatever. So that's what I did. My dates were obviously this one. It took me a little bit longer, but that's not necessarily because of how big it is. A lot of it is just because I took a big long break in between. I worked on some other sketchbooks. I worked on some other projects in the meantime, and so I just had like a probably good at least 6 months time where I never even like picked up this particular book, but I was still drawing in other things. So all right, so moving on. This one's blank just because, again, it's part of the first page and I never actually did it, but I don't think there's any more blank pages in this book. I was experimenting with some watercolor on this paper at first, and it actually takes watercolor really well. It does buckle a little bit, but it's not that bad once you close it back up, and it'll flatten it out pretty well. But I just painted some little gems, some little crystals here. This was actually a prompt for Inktober that year, and it was crystal, I think. And then this was also a prompt, and I can't remember what the prompt was, but it was an Inktober prompt, and maybe it was a vessel, I want to say. But I drew these little jars with like weird stuff inside of them. This was another prompt. Helmet, I think, was this one for Inktober. So I'm not in love with this drawing, but a lot of people really like it. So here's a crystal ball. I think I was also using the first prompt, the crystal prompt, for this because I ended up doing that crystal painting with watercolor instead of ink. But anyway, so it was crystal ball and some books. I actually thought about turning this into a coloring book page, but it's kind of blank. It might be nice though, and then people could write their own titles. I don't know. What do you think? This is one of my favorite illustrations, actually. I turned this into stickers. I have prints on my website for this as well, but it's just an ink drawing with, and I use some of the ink is with paintbrush too, so it looks like watercolor, but it's actually all just black India ink. And I really love this drawing. I don't know, it turned out really cool. Some more sketches. These are just with some fine liners. I have these, like, they're basically like micron pens, but I think I got these ones on Amazon and they weren't super expensive, and they work really well. They're mostly waterproof, and they have multiple sizes, and I think I got like a whole set of 12 for like less than $10. Some more drawings. I actually was working on some drawings for a coloring book for a while. I have separate coloring pages that I have printed out for a couple people, but I don't have anything like downloadable yet. And let's see. Oh, this is just my red Cola Erase pencil again. Just one of these guys. Prismacolor Cola Erase. I don't know if you can see that. But I like these a lot because They are really erasable. This eraser's not very I've used it a lot, but they're very erasable, and you can get good shading, but then you can also do inking over them and erase the lines underneath, and I don't know, I like the way they look. These are actually a couple stickers that I made, and these were my prototypes. So I actually drew these on sticker paper, like label sticker paper, and then I scanned them and printed them out on vinyl sticker paper so that I could have them, and then I'll do like little random details and metallic pens and stuff like that on top of them, so they look cute. But I really liked these stickers. They're so cute. But yeah, you can always order stickers on my website as well. I have sticker packs available if anybody's interested in those. Here was a marker sketch I did on this paper. I really wanted to try out those alcohol markers, so I have this set of alcohol markers that is by Paprt. Paprt is the name of the brand, and they look like this. So one's a broad tip like this, and then one's like a fine tip. I don't have the brush ones, which I really do want, but I'm going to use all these until I can't use them anymore. And then my next art supplies investment is going to be a big set of brush tip alcohol markers. All right, so as you can see, this paper is pretty thick, and I wanted to try out gouache. I tried gouache paint on here, and it actually takes it really well. So this is a good sketchbook for gouache as well. And I just wanted to do a little like design, so I made some teapots with some gouache paint. And yeah, here's a sketch I was doing when I was in my feelings because I got injured. I had a accident where I fell down, and I really basically tore open my face on the pavement. My teeth broke. Like, it was a huge deal. I thought I was going to be scarred for life. I still have a scar, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it was pretty bad. I was like very much in my feelings about it. So I drew that. This was like a little octopus I started drawing, but I never really finished it. Another, actually this one is my, I think, pencil brush pen. The black is this guy, the refillable one. And then the color part is some like neon Prismacolor marker or Prismacolor pencils. I wanted to play with some neon colors, so I did that. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting color scheme. This one is alcohol markers as well. This is also one of my favorites. I love the silhouette. I love how it turned out with the light from the window behind it, and just these like bold outlines. Basically, it's really just 3 markers. It was like a black marker, this sort of like brownish taupe color, and then this like grayish blue. Oh wait, and then there's this also light blue, so I guess 4 markers, but still, just for that it's just 4 markers, and it turned out really cool. This was another gouache painting I did, so gouache paint on my sketchbook. This is a combo of watercolor and gel pens. I did some like silver and gold gel pen in here, some snakes. Oh, here we get into Mermaid. So here we go. This was Mermaid, probably from 21. No, it was from 22. And so I started drawing some mermaids. I don't think they had any like themes or anything. I just liked the mermaid. I just wanted to draw mermaids. So this was just a fine liner pen. This was my alcohol markers again. It's just some sketching. I use the back of the pages sometimes when there's bleed through, even though like I know it's not going to make a good sketch, just for practice a lot of times. So these are just like practice sketches. Another mermaid with alcohol markers. There's I guess it's a huge beetle, a big beetle I drew. This was a pencil. It was a water soluble pencil actually. So I used a pencil and then I kind of like wet it down and made some gradients. This was another one I wanted to do as a coloring book page. I thought it was kind of pretty. This is just a mermaid and a little nautilus, a little seahorse, some seaweed. Some more sketches I did, just random sketching, more random sketching. I think these markers are actually water-based markers. That's why they don't have any bleed through for to the next page. Here's a blue coal erase pencil drawing I never actually finished. Another random like quick portrait with marker. another one. This one has like, actually I think this one I might have done with, this is like colored fine liners, I think. I'm not sure exactly. And black. And then this is color pencil. And then this is a whole entire color pencil drawing. And I actually did this with my Car and Dash pencils, which I had gotten for Christmas, which were amazing, and I couldn't wait to use them. And so I wanted to do like a pretty detailed drawing with it. So I did this portrait that I thought was awesome with the reflection in the glasses. And yeah, I really like this one. So obviously right after I got my Christmas present. Oh, and my tardigrades, those water bears, the real ideal body, because literally they can live through anything at all. A couple of eels. I don't know, I just wanted to draw some eels. I really like the shape of them. It's like the ribboning of it that like fascinates me. You know, the ribboning of the eel. I don't know. Those are the screeching eels. If you know what movie that's from, you're probably gonna be friends. Some more little, like, I drew the bird first. I think Story asked me to draw a parrot. So I drew a parrot, and then I was like, what else is tropical? Some tropical plants. Yeah, that was my new color pencils as well. I wanted to practice with them. So, and then these I think are different layering of markers and color pencils together. Yeah, and then some gel pen too. Looks like some little bunny sketches with a ballpoint pen, and then I just outlined them with a marker. I think it was an alcohol marker. These guys are super awesome too. I'm obsessed with these. These beetles I did with alcohol markers, and then I went in and blended out some of the lines and did some of the details with color pencils over it. So these turned out so cool. I think they're just amazing. And I actually turned these into stickers as well. So they're pretty cool stickers. Some kitty stickers. Again, I did the same thing with these cats. These are like on the label paper that I did, and then I scanned them in, and then I print them out on some actual vinyl sticker paper so that it's durable. Just another marker sketch. Some actual, like, some more candy, some more, I don't know. I like drawing hard candies and like things that are shiny. It just, they might make everything pop. This was around Valentine's Day, obviously. These are just kind of funny. Just a back rub. Here's your coffee. Sleep in today. I put gas in your car. The dishes are done. Those are all very loving messages in my mind. All right, so here's just like some more practice with, I just wanted to draw some cougars. A puma is another name for a cougar. This was a blue coal erase pencil sketch. Just portrait practice again. Sometimes I just write weird words. I don't know why it says nope, but maybe because it looks like this guy's about to escape. My ostrich. I love ostriches too. I just love the shape of them. They're so weird and interesting. Cassette tapes. Story asked me the other day, Mama, what is that? What are those things? And I was like, that's how people used to listen to music back in the 80s. Some more practice with color schemes. So I drew a pomegranate, and then I sort of like did some background colors with my paint markers. These acrylic paint markers. These are awesome because they're the brush tip kind. The brush tip paint markers, like acrylic markers. So they get this sort of like opaque texture. They're not 100% opaque, but they get sort of opaque texture, and they don't bleed through the paper, so they're really nice. But I did this like with that red coal erase pencil, and then some black fine liners as well. And then this side is water-based markers. I used water-based markers, and then I don't know if you can tell, but some of the details inside of the dragon fruit, like the little seeds, I did sort of a wet on wet with markers. Isn't that interesting? And then I just sort of like dabbed some of that marker on there to make them bleed into the white a little bit. I don't know, I think it turned out really cool. This, I know you can't really tell what it is, but it's supposed to be a hermit crab, which is the first sketch I did of it. And then another kind of crab up there. I like crabs because I'm a Cancer in the zodiac. Figure sketch again, just practicing figure drawing. Here's a little pig I painted with gouache. And then, oh, I love this picture. It's Story and my dog Nebula. Love, my loves. And that, I think those are water-based markers as well. But I like the water-based markers sometimes just because they're easier to plan out my drawing without having to worry about whether it's going to bleed through or not. And sometimes also because it's nice when you want to blend, you can use it almost like watercolor. When you add water to it, it a lot of times will spread, so it's nice. I like to experiment with that. Here's a ram that I drew with red coal erase again. Another drawing with water-based markers. And then these ones I did with, I have actual watercolor markers that I used for these red things. They're like watercolor brush pens. Real Arteza real brush pens is what they're called. They're from Arteza, but that's what I used for these. So they're actually meant to be like watercolor. This one was alcohol markers again, I believe. Or no, this one was water-based markers because there's no bleed through, you can tell. But yeah, this is actually a pretty cool portrait too. I just really like the reference image. It's just so bold. So yeah, it turned out neat. And then a couple of portraits of like a girl with an animal. I don't know, I like the theme of these. The whole theme of almost like a, not necessarily a pet, but like a familiar maybe. I don't know, for fun. That was so cute. This is gouache again. This is my jelly gouache set that I got from Amazon. Cat with balloons. And then here's another silhouette in front of a window because I just really liked the last one and I wanted to do it again. It's a slightly different portrait obviously, but the same sort of concept with limited colors and bold outlines. This one I was practicing like a sort of water design, and I used my acrylic pens again, acrylic paint pens. I was doing a spread that I wanted to just kind of do all blues and reds. I was sort of, or all blues. I was sort of going back to like this theme of the reds and wanted to do blue, and so I just chose like blues and grays. I didn't actually color in the skate because I thought it was a really cool outline of a drawing and I didn't want to color it in. These are just some plant sketches I did with my pencil brush pen again. Gypsy living. I drew this like caravan thing. I thought it was really cool. I don't know, I really like it. And then I wanted to add some like gypsy ladies into it, and I had already drawn the caravan, so I put the stickers on top so I could draw the gypsy ladies into the picture. And then this one, again, I really like the reference image. It just looks like a cool, bold, like, picture. So I drew that one. That one's alcohol markers as well. This one is a combo of, I think this is gouache, but just really watered down, and a black, it's not a paint marker, but it's like a permanent marker. I don't know what to call it. It doesn't bleed through, but it's permanent, so. And then this one is a combo of markers and color pencils, water-based brush markers, and Prismacolor pencils. I like it when I write down. That's why I actually write that down on there so that I can remember what I used. So water-based brush marker and Prismacolor pencils. Red coal erase for all these mouth studies I was doing. Here's a little blue lobster with a Prismacolor pencil. I also really like sketching in a like color pencil sometimes, just regular ones, because they don't smear really, and you can get a really nice variation of line, texture, and depth. So just with the pressures. There's Prismacolor and acrylic brush markers. This guy. I don't know if you've noticed a theme, but I really like drawing animals with horns too. Here's a nice little roller skate picture again. I have another theme of roller skates being a favorite of mine to draw, but I like that a lot too. This was, oh, I didn't write it on this one, but I'm pretty sure this was water-based markers because I watered it down a little bit to get this like cool effect. And then the background is done with some acrylic paint markers and some, looks like color pencil too. These are all different neutral colored of Prismacolor pencils, and I was doing some portrait studies just in single colors, and this is also one of my favorite portrait spreads of my sketchbook. I think I just like all of these. I think they just all look pretty good. They turned out really nice. They're just nice sketches. Why not boats? I don't know. Why not? I never drew boats before, so I thought, why not give it a try? And then when I was looking at pictures for boats, I ended up finding this little sailor, this old sailor guy, a picture of him, and I was like, I gotta draw him. He's so cute. So I drew the little sailor. And then I had some bleed through from the previous page, so I covered it up with these pieces of paper. And then I went in with that black marker again and some acrylic paint markers as well to go on top of that. And I actually used I think I used Mod Podge on top of the paper to make it smoother when I glued it down, and then I drew on top of it with the markers. These are also those acrylic paint markers on top of a blue coal erase pencil, I think. But yeah, I think this is a pretty cool sketch too. Just got like a cat skull mask on. A little deer. He doesn't have horns yet, but maybe in the future. This one I actually never finished. I was drawing this girl with like, I was gonna give her like tentacle hair, but I never finished it either. But it was kind of a cool idea. I might go back to it someday. Here we have an acrobat. Here we have a really cool study with gouache. Again, I was doing some like shadow studies, and I really, really love the way this one turned out. It turned out so cool. These cherries with gouache paint. The cool thing about gouache is it's like a flat texture, and so you can get a nice flat like steady color as long as you have the right consistency of your paint. Here's another, like I have another one of these in my other sketchbook. I don't know, I was really into this like whole bubble doodle thing for a while. I don't know if it's bubbles or it looks kind of like bubbles or cobblestones. I'm not 100% certain what it is, but it looks kind of cool. I just like the way it was fun to do. It was very relaxing. Here's another one I did with here's some acrylic brush markers. I think just a bunch of mixtures of different stuff I used in this one. I don't know what other markers I used. Probably some water-based, just like water-based markers, different combos and stuff. And then some like gel pens, but I did a little froggy and like some lily pads. Oh, here I was practicing with contrasting colors. So I did some blue and orange. I did some green and red. I did some purple and yellow. I did some green and or blue and yellow, green and purple, looks like. So complementary two-tone studies. This was gouache, also gouache paint, my flamingo, and then this cool vulture, king vulture is what it's called. This one was with watercolor, and it also turned out super cool. Like this one I feel like would be a cool like print or postcard or something if people were ever interested in that. Okay, I'm gonna do some little sketches of like of like weird random seed pods and stuff that I found. So that's what those are with pencil. This was a drawing, I don't know, I was just sketching a tree. I didn't really care about the drawing, I didn't really like it, but a lot of it is actually I can see I wrote words in here too, but it's probably just, it was probably like another one of those like sort of journal-y exercises for me. The outcome wasn't even important, but I didn't really care about it, so I used alcohol markers on the other side and it bled through and it didn't really matter. But here's the alcohol marker spread that I did. This is also one of my favorite spreads. I don't know, it just looks so cool. It's so visually like poppy. I love this image of the clown shoes. So these are alcohol markers and a little bit of colored pencil I think I might have used on this one too with those alcohol markers, just for some of the details. Get to smooth out some of those edges and stuff. I ended up just like playing around with the back of this, and I traced out some of the edges of the bleed through, just, I don't know, to see what it would look like. These are actually Copic markers, which my friend gave to me. She had just these colors, which was pretty cool because it was like skin tones. So I drew my hands holding a coffee cup, and then I actually turned this into a sticker also. It looks pretty cool. I had my art displayed at a coffee shop, a local coffee shop for a while. So I made stickers of this, and it looks pretty cool. I wrote out all the prompt list for Mermaid of 23, and then I didn't do any of them. I was going to. I had all these great ideas, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do some mermaid themes, but I ended up not even doing it, which is fine. I don't have to do it every year, and sometimes it just stresses me out, so I did other things, and it was fine. Here's another cute alcohol marker portrait I did. Like a little red clown nose, and I don't know, she sort of goes with my circus theme that I was into for a little bit. And then I just glued this one in. This is again on sandpaper. This is another drawing I did on sandpaper. So it's like 800 grit waterproof sandpaper, and like silicone carbide sandpaper, which I thought was important because if you do regular sandpaper, it's not waterproof, and so you can't like blend it with water, and I don't think it's as durable either. But this one is the waterproof kind, the wet dry sandpaper, and I used color pencils on it, just regular Prismacolor color pencils, and it looks so bold and so good on that paper. I just love it so much. It pops so nice. So that was a practice portrait that I did, and trying to use that sandpaper, and now I know sandpaper is the bomb. That's just a practice portrait with red kohl erase again. This one is just an outline, like a line drawing of a plant. This one is also alcohol markers, but this one I used just pastels. I just wanted to try out with just some pastels and some, instead of using any black lines, I really just used like different colors, oranges and greens. I like it. The Hamsa hand, some evil eyes, and then this like belly dancer, gypsy belly dancer girl. I just really loved her pose. I was like, she is fierce. Look at that pose. Look at the body. The wave of the body is just such a cool figure drawing. This was another like random figure drawing I did with some ballpoint pen. I don't know if you can't really see it because it's behind that bleed through a little bit, but here's a little watercolor portrait. It's actually a mixture of watercolor and pen, I think. Yeah, it looks like actually ballpoint pen and pencil, maybe. No, it was ballpoint pen. Yeah, I can see the ballpoint pen through there. And then I just drew over it with watercolor, I think. Maybe some red kohl erase too. Yeah. This was a blue kohl erase. This was a mermaid, but it wasn't for mermaid. It wasn't for one of the prompts for mermaid. It just ended up being a really cool like warrior mermaid. And yeah, I love this design. I think she looks super cool. Here is a study I did with markers again, with my alcohol markers. I really wanted to do like an intricate portrait with the alcohol markers and practice those, and this one turned out super cool as well. I just really liked the image again, and I thought it made a really good reference for alcohol marker drawing. Some more stickers that I designed. These are all those paper stickers again. This one is not. This is one that I did with the vinyl paper. So that's actually a vinyl sticker that I stuck on there. You can see it on the cover of my other sketchbook too. And then these are just like the original stickers that I made, and then I scanned them in and made copies. Here's another marker drawing. These are alcohol markers, and then I did some like little details with a gold gel pen. Here's some more alcohol markers again, and gold gel pen. You can see that's sort of a theme that I have. I really like adding little gold accents, sometimes silver. Here's another cat sticker I did. I thought it was appropriate to put on the back of this one. They look kind of like they go together. He's looking out the window at the moon. This one was just a Prismacolor pencil, a single pencil that I used to draw that portrait. This is some more markers. I think these are my water-based markers again. Speed. Because snails. Hand drawing practice. I don't know, I just wanted to make it more interesting, so I added this like sort of yellow paint marker outline. This is also acrylic markers and color pencil, I think. Yeah. And then this one is also color pencil and paint marker. Another little tree. I don't know what I was going for here. I don't think I ever finished the sketch all the way, but I kind of like the way this looks though, because I was going to try to draw something inside these roots here, but I didn't know what to put. But it's, you know, again, save this idea for another time for something else. Some more doodly stuff. Probably just with water-based markers. This one was pretty cool. This was just a blue coal erase, and then I outlined it with a paint marker, and then I did this part with a paint marker as well. This was blue coal erase, and then I went over it with one of those water-soluble pencils and sort of kind of blended it with some water. And then I just left her hair. I really like the way it kind of looks. It doesn't look super finished, but it's fun for a sketchbook. I like that portrait. This one is ballpoint pen, also ballpoint pen, just a sketch. And then I got some new inks that I want to try out. So these are kind of like swatches, just to test out the Amsterdam acrylic inks I got. They were on clearance at Hobby Lobby, so I was like, I think I can do that if they're on clearance. Like $1.25. I thought it was a really good deal. This was like, I never do urban sketching, and I'm not very good at it, but I want to be better at it. So I started practicing it, and that was the first attempt. Yeah, from a reference photo I found, and this is just black fine liner and watercolor. And then I drew my house. I was like, maybe I should try to draw my house. So I actually sat out in my yard with my chair, and I drew my house with a black fine liner. And here's my car in the driveway, and there's some bleed through from the page behind, but my little house is so cute. And then I wanted to practice monochrome drawing. So actually what I did was I drew it with the alcohol markers and one color pencil and one gel pen. So each one of these is just like one specific color scheme. I did, you know, this like orangey color with like an orangey color pencil, and this like goldenrod color with like a brownish golden color pencil, etc. But yeah, that's how I did those. I just have them all labeled here so I knew which color I used. This is another watercolor pencil that I had. It's like I only have two colors of them. I have this blue-gray and I have black. I think I actually found them in something that I bought at the thrift store, and those two pencils were in it. And so I was like, oh, nice score. Just like, I don't know. It's so random sometimes. This again is ballpoint pen. This is also Prismacolor, two different Prismacolor pencils. I think I used an orange and like a dark red. This one is markers and Prismacolors. I think alcohol markers. Yeah. And then this, I was working on some ideas for a mural for my brother-in-law's company. They have like an outdoor supplies company sort of, and then they just bought a building and they wanted to do a mural. So I'm looking at some different references and like trying to come up with some ideas. I just drew that quickly, but sort of just the theme or like the style. This, I just drew this weird rib cage and then I didn't know what to do with it, so I splattered a bunch of those inks on there to see what it would look like. I don't know, it's kind of dumb, but it kind of looks like blood over here. I don't know. Oh, here's my blue fountain pen. So I bought a blue ink fountain pen and I wanted to try it out, and so I was just doing some sketching. I did some blue coal erase pencil and then I went over it with the ink, and then I just drew a little moon in there because, you know, wolves. And then I drew a peacock butterfly. Those are also with my alcohol markers, which I really love to blend with. Here's a very fun cannabis plant that I drew with some fine liners and some paint markers. Again, just practicing and just trying out some styles. And here's some little sketches of my cannabis plants. Just little bubbly guys. They're kind of cute. Here's another sketch with, it just looks, oh, here, I did water-soluble pencil and paint marker and then some gold gel pen. This one is a very personal thing. I'm ashamed to take, so I give. It's not a virtue, it's a disguise. It's true, it's what I do. This one is actually also one of my favorite sketches, but it's just it's two alcohol markers and a color pencil, and then some white color pencil as well. And then I did some little details with paint markers, just again playing with multimedia, mixed media stuff. Same with this one. This one too. This is just, I was trying to cover up the other side of the paper. Again, a cover-up. This is literally just like a big collage. And if you saw my other sketchbook, you would see this mermaid design was in the other one, and this was the piece of tracing paper I used to trace it. So that's what that is. Just a bunch of stickers and paper and stuff stuck on there just to cover that up. We went to Galena for our family vacation, and I collected all of these different plants, and I pressed them in my book. And this one says not poison ivy because my cousin's husband was trying to assure us that it was poison ivy, but obviously it was not. This one's just little mushy doodles. I drew this guy, and then I had to fill in the rest of the page, so I was like, oh, what else can I do? Some blue stuff. Again, alcohol markers and color pencils, I think. Here's another weird cover-up page. I used this to mirror the other side so they would match, and then I traced 3 of them and colored them in, and I don't know. That looks kind of cool. My scarab. And this is also alcohol markers. These are acrylic paint markers and color pencils. And these are 2 of my more recent drawings. I really like this one. I drew this one first, and then I actually drew this one to accompany that one as a spread. But this one's pretty funny. I really like it. Aren't they so cute? My pigeons. This drawing I think is terrible. I hate this drawing of this 2-headed cat. It just doesn't look right, but it was a fun concept. And then my self-portrait. Look at my selfie. Oh my goodness. And this one is also with alcohol markers, and the background is done with paint marker. Alcohol markers and fine liner. And then this page was something that my daughter did 2 years ago, and I didn't find it until recently. It was on the second to last page. I was like, okay, she must have found my sketchbook and thought it was hers, but that's okay. This one is an ink drawing. Actually, it's just regular old India ink, and I diluted it with some water and some paintbrushes to do some of that stuff there. And then the rest is the red part. What did I use for this? I think I just used a marker, maybe, or might have been watercolor. I can't remember. And then my last page, the party sheep. The party sheep says goodbye. It's time to party. Anyway, so that's the end. That's the last of my sketchbook. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long one. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys got some inspiration for your own ideas, and let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions for me, leave me a comment. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you guys soon, hopefully this time, since my daughter's back at school. Bye-bye.